Hello, collective. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Patience with Spirit here, your psychic intuitive host of Spirit News on Spotify, where we teach you about your non-physicalness. Here we do psychic development collective reads with my own spirit team, the Guild of the Golden Triangle. And on our TikTok, you can look at little spirit nuggets and our ascension process all the way from the beginning, from 3 years ago to now, by taking the advice in real time from my spirit guides on how to find enlightenment and how a 4 on the clock and how to ascend. So I have another message from you from God, clocking in Oracle number 36 of the High Divine Order. So I'm doing another necrometer read, and I wrote down all the words that they give me, and always in consecutive order, and they always talk about a Dark High Priestess. They always talk, but that's all they usually say. So I was like, well, I like a challenge. And so I was just sitting here saying a prayer and getting grounded myself and all that. And I had my necrometer on. So I got to put my phone in. And I said, okay, tell me about the Dark High Priestess. And as soon as I said that, they said cemetery. The number 2, 8, and 9. Okay? So I was like, okay, I need more. So I opened the Bible. I opened the Bible to Luke 6, which is actually, there's 110 and 111 at the top, so confirmation. So the first thing I noticed was the mission of the 12. In those days he departed to the mountain to pray, which the mountain could be the cemetery. So apparently this person goes to the cemetery at night because it says to pray, and he spends the night in prayer to God. But God would never have you go to a cemetery overnight to pray. So I was like, that's weird. Maybe that's why they're a Dark High Priestess. Maybe they're not going to the cemetery to pray to God, but they're going secretly at night, so people don't know that they're going to pray not to God but to other discarnate energy. So when the day came to pray to God, or maybe they think they're praying to God, I don't know. I think it feels like, I'll say the energy before it comes out, and maybe it'll come out, but it feels like somebody unhealed who has psychic powers, but they use them for bad, you know? But it feels like they're confused about something. It feels like they love to do this, you know, they love having the gift, they love the attention it gives them, 333 on the clock, they love the accolades and the people that come to them trusting in their gift. But at the same time, it feels like, why are you going to a cemetery and spending the night overnight? You know, do you want nobody to see you? Is this a secret? Like, I have lots of questions. It feels like some kind of misunderstanding. And let me tell you what a high priestess is. So a high priestess is basically, there's a high priest and then there's the Hierophant in tarot, and they both represent high level intuition, being one with God, being a messenger of God, having intuition and psychic gifts, basically. And then I was looking on my Moonly app, and it said, I was looking at the tarot cards, and it says on the Hierophant is the Pope, and the High Priestess is the Papess, which is the female version of the Pope. That is truly, to be a High Priestess, you have to have a certain level of knowledge to know how to use your intuition, which is what you are, basically, when you don't have your body, your energy. And so this person has the ability, they have a psychic gift, but they don't use it for good. And the 144 are high priests and high priestesses and hierophants that have a connection to God to be able to be a conduit for God's messages, for his advice, you go to the Pope or to the Papist to get godly advice, to get guidance. Eventually, God wants you to just go directly to the source and go to him. You don't really need anybody to do it. But until you learn how to do that, you have people like high priestess. Like I would be considered high priestess because I'm psychic and I've cleared my field enough to use my ability for good to help people. Okay, but this person, I think is confused about their role because they love that they have a psychic gift and they use it, and I think they actually take money and do things for it. I don't know what yet, I just feel that. And they love it, but they use it for bad. So they use their powers for bad. And this says they go to the cemetery at night to pray all night. They spend the night there, and then talking of God, what they think is God. And then when the day comes, they called their disciples to them, and they chose 12. But I got the numbers 2, 8, and 9. So I don't know if it started off as 2 and them, and that would be 3, right? The power of 3. And then as they got powerful, I think they started recruiting people, okay? Because it says they gathered 12 people, and this is when the apostles came. Simon, who he named Peter, his brother Andrew, James, John, Philip, Bartholomew, Matthew, Thomas, James, the son of Alphaeus, Simon, who was called Zealot, and Judas, the son of James, and Judas Iscariot, who became the traitor, Judah. So there is a traitor in this circle, okay? Are you following? And then, so why I think this dark high priestess started to get more people to come around them is because the first 3 people they had in their little group, where they were going to the cemetery and doing, I don't know what they were doing in there, spending the night, overnight. I'm like, damn. A great crowd of his disciples and a large number of people from all Judea and Jerusalem and the coastal region, so their town, like their friend group, came to them to be healed of their diseases, and even those who were tormented by unclean spirits were cured. Everyone in the crowd sought to touch them because power came forth from them and healed them all. So this dark high priestess actually had or attained some level of ability by going to the cemetery and doing whatever they were doing. I don't know yet. But because of those accolades, I think that it gathered people closer, and like a clique was formed. Some kind of clique was formed based on this person's ability to heal things. But they may have been charging people or something to that effect. I'm not sure yet. Okay, so then I went over to Luke 7, the healing of a centurion's slave, and I went to the 2 foundations right there. The 2 foundations, okay? And it says, why do you call me Lord, but do not do what I command? I will show you what someone is like who comes to me, listens to my words, and acts on them. That one is like a person building a house who dug deeply and laid the foundation on rock. When the flood came, the river burst against the house but could not shake it because it had been well built. But the one who listens and does not act is like a person who built a house on the ground without a foundation. When the river burst against it, it collapsed at once and was completely destroyed. I think this dark high priestess was claiming or under the assumption that they were talking to God in the cemetery, and they were so good at doing what they do with their psychic gifts that the Lord was like, why do you call me, but you don't listen to me? Like, I don't think she was healing her wounds. I think that this dark high priestess was using her powers for bad, and she recruited people under the guise that she was doing God's work. But really, she was a dark high priestess using her psychic powers for bad and charging people for it. But she enjoyed it, and I think she thought she feels very passionate about it. She feels like, this is my calling, this is what I'm supposed to do. But God's like, why do you call me, but you don't even listen to what I say? You don't do as I say. You do what you want. You call upon me in the 11:11. You make your own rules up, because God said, let me show you. So God brought someone in this dark high priestess life to be an example of what it means to call upon God and then actually listen to him and then take his advice. And he said that one is like a person building a house who dug deeply and laid the foundation on rock. So the person they brought into this dark high priestess life was supposed to be an example for them. But because this person who is psychic, a dark high priestess, who I think, who gathered people, who does things in a cemetery, it was like they were taking a shortcut. It was like they were just using their powers more for the accolades instead of actually wanting to heal them. Instead of actually saying, oh, I love 1212, instead of actually saying, oh, I love this, I want to help people, it was more like, how can I make more money doing this? How can I get more attention? And I think they got addicted to more of the attention than to using their powers for good. That's what I think happened. And so then after that, I went to judging others. Stop judging and you will not be judged. Stop condemning and you will not be condemned. Forgive and you will be forgiven. Give and gifts will be given to you. A good measure packed together, shaken down and overflowing will be poured into your lap. For the measure with which you measure will in return be measured out to you. And he told them a parable. Can a blind person guide a blind person? Will not both fall into a pit? No disciple is superior to the teacher. But when fully trained, every disciple will be like his teacher. Why do you notice the splinter in your brother's eye, but do not perceive the wooden beam in your own? How can you say to your brother, brother, let me remove that splinter in your eye, when you do not even notice the wooden beam in your own eye? You hypocrite! Remove the wooden beam from your eye first, and then you will see clearly to remove the splinter in your brother's eye. And then it says right here, God's profound displeasure on those so blinded by their present fortunate situation that they do not recognize or appreciate the real values of God's kingdom. In all the blessings and woes, the present condition of the person's address will be reversed in the future. So basically, in a nutshell, what God's saying is that I gave you psychic powers to help people. I lifted you up out of that place you were in, and I gave you powers because you were supposed to use them for good. But instead, what you do is you judge. You took someone I gave you to help teach you how to lay a foundation, and instead of using them as an example, you judged them and you placed yourself above your teacher. And then you judge them and condemn them instead of hello, instead of realizing that they were your ally and they were there to teach you how to anchor yourself, and you wrote and you scoffed at the real values of your gift and what it was supposed to be used for, to help people, and you used it for your own gain and blessings. And then when you got those blessings, you scoffed the teacher that taught you what you know, and you used the powers for bad. So this is a person who, I don't know in what capacity yet, but this is a person who had unbridled psychic power. And God sent them a teacher or a friend or somebody that had psychic powers too, but who was anchored with God, or who was able to anchor themselves and use their powers for good. But this person didn't see them that way. Instead they judged them and cast them out because they wanted to be the teacher, not the student. Okay? And so once that student gained the knowledge they needed, they looked at that teacher as if something was wrong with them, as if they surpassed the teacher. But really, this person was supposed to use their powers for good, and because they took for granted the blessings that the gift had given them, because they're charging people and using them for their powers for bad. So that could mean, spying on people, like using divination, but lying, taking money to spy on people and maybe mess up their life in some way, something like that. So this person is basically like Judah, the traitor. Or I don't know if they're Judah or someone in their little clique is Judah, but because they're going to the cemetery at night, and I don't know what they're doing there. I mean, the only thing I can imagine that you do at a cemetery and when you spend the night is some kind of ritual or something. And they have to do it all night long. They pray all night long in order to gain, a little bit of power to show their friends, look what I can do. A show off. Someone who just wants to use their powers for attention and not to help people, So that's what I got so far. All right, Spirit, thank you so much for being with us. Please let us know where to go. Let's look in here. The Kingdom of the Cult. Spirit, please let us know what you want us to know. Mrs. Piper gave some 88 sittings, for example, carefully observed at all times by members of the Society for Psychical Research. For psychic research. Professor Oliver Lodge, late Sir Oliver Lodge, one of England's most brilliant scientists and a careful psychic investigator, compiled a checklist of some 41 specific incidents where Mrs. Piper stated facts and general information concerning those who attended her seances. She's doing seances in the freaking graveyard. Oh my gosh. Facts which were unknown to those persons at the very time the seances were in session. This was carefully verified and is beyond refutation. So that's what she was doing in the freaking graveyard with her friends. She's doing seances under the moonlight in a cemetery, conjuring low energy, low disincarnate energy from the graveyard, and then acting like, and then the next day she's going to get all her friends like, hey, look what I can do. I could guess you're this and that. Because she is psychic, but she's amplifying her power through a dark source. She's not going to the real source of where it comes from, and she's not doing the work. She's not clearing her field, and she's doing it for the accolades. 40-year career as a spiritualistic medium, a career which was so confound the best minds in her psychical research in both the United States and Europe. I think that this person this person, God gave this person another psychic for them to work together to be their teacher. And this Dark High Priestess got jealous, because it's the only reason I can think of why they would want to surpass the teacher and then scoff at them and act like they're better than that teacher, when really, God said, how can you cast judgment upon another when you're not even doing the work? You call upon me, but then you don't even do anything I say. You just do whatever you want, and you think that you're so powerful and great, but you don't even help people. You take money and you just show off. How are you godly, So this person was she basically shit on her teacher once she reached a certain point and thought her teacher was weak and decided to cast judgment upon them, I guess. Wow. What else? And she's doing seances. God will never have you do a seance. If you're really connected to God, you don't need a Ouija board, you don't need seance, you don't need that stuff. You just need to pray or meditate or do breathing exercises. This person is using a Ouija board in the cemetery in the middle of the night under the moonlight. That's not God. We took a survey in the Department of Biblical Studies at King's College. Of some 300 students polled, less than 10 had heard a sermon in the last 4 years in their respective churches on the doctrines of the Trinity. See? This person says that they listen to God, but they don't even read the Bible. They don't even go to church. They don't even pray. I don't even know if they meditate. This is a person that was trying to do shortcuts, that actually has a psychic gift, a dark high priestess. That's very sad. It's really rare to come across somebody who's psychic that is as advanced as having the ability to heal. Like, why would you, if you knew you had the ability to heal, why would you want to ruin it by going to the graveyard? It's just so disappointing, It makes me want to cry. It's such a waste. It's a waste. One of the human element, Spirit's just like, that's the human for you. One of the first things which confronts a Christian, or just, I don't even like to use the word Christian, just someone who believes, is he attempts to evangelize a cultist. Yeah, is a psychological barrier which exists in the minds of a great many persons. So the effect that cultists must be a special breed of individualists impervious to standard techniques of evangelism are generally well enough versed in the Bible to confuse, if not convince, the average person. See, this person thought they were talking to God, but they weren't listening truly because they have unhealed wounds, but because they do have psychic powers, and they were amplifying their power by whatever the hell they were doing in the cemetery. They thought they were talking to God, and that made them godly. And they would go around telling people, oh, I can do this for you, I can do that for you. And they could, but the power source that they were using to make those things happen came from an unhealed place. And so therefore, you're going to match that energy. And it said in the Bible, sorry, I find it because I dropped it. It was, there's a random card in here, boxing. An ancient and honorable sport, just not for boys anymore. I don't know, something about a lady boxer. Maybe this Dark High Priestess is a lady that boxes. I don't know. That was in Ezekiel. The man with a measure. In the 25th year of our exile, at the beginning of the year, on the 10th day of the month, 14 years after the city had been captured. I don't think that's anything. Okay. Of course I can't find it now. Oh, here, Luke 7. It says, God's profound displeasure on those so blinded by their fortune, their present fortunate situation, that they don't recognize or appreciate or even upkeep the real values of God and the reason why I gave you that psychic gift. God gave this person the psychic gift. In all the blessings and woes, the present condition of the person's address will be reversed in the future. So that means that whatever they were doing, whatever this Dark High Priestess was doing with their powers that was naughty, it's going to come back to them. Because they weren't a student of energy. They didn't understand. They were half-assing things because they just wanted the accolades. They just wanted the attention. They didn't actually want to help people, not from their heart, from their ego, to stroke their ego. All right, got it. Let's do this. Let's do some magic cards since we're doing something funky in the cemetery, okay? Spirit, please tell me more about the situation. Thank you so much for being with us. I am so grateful to be a conduit for you. I love you so much. I'm so grateful. I'm truly blessed, and everything always works out for me. All right, let's see. Here we go. Please tell us what you want us to know. Why were they going to the cemetery? What was she doing in the cemetery? What was this Dark High Priestess doing in the cemetery? Oh, that's too many. Can you please tell us what this Dark High Priestess was doing in the cemetery? Case of the pilfered proof. Enchantments. I can't make it up. Whenever a detective enters the battlefield under your control, she was doing enchantments to control people. To control and solve people's issues. She could possibly collect artifacts or curse artifacts or use cursed artifacts to solve people's problems. She's basically using her psychic abilities and her connection to darkness to curse people for money. Wow. That's awful. Repulsive mutation. I can't make that. God said, this is not what I had planned for you. You completely ignored me and shit on me and basically she shunned this Dark High Priestess, gave no credit to God in the way that she was supposed to. Remind me to send the Biomancer team a gift basket. Yeah, she was really good at doing this job. She's really good at doing this job. She likes it. This person thinks that this is her destiny. She thinks that this is what God wanted, to curse people with her psychic gift. I'm going to tell you right now, that's 100% negative. God would never, ever, ever in a million freaking years say, yes, your destiny is to go curse people and hurt them. Please, in the God's name, go hurt as many people as you want for money. Does that sound like something God would say? Can you use your brain, please? I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. I'm upset. Let me just calm down a little, okay? Let me just calm down a little. I mean, I'm just upset because God knows how many people that she hurt as she's acting like a wild orangutan, an animal, going to the cemeteries. Come on, what are we doing? Yeah, we're going to the cemeteries, and this is them now. I have a feeling this is them now. In her defense, Thopters was very fun to smash. This person's just a smasher, a fun smasher, a joy smasher, because she's taken money to curse people using her psychic gift for bad things. What do you think? And God said that it's going to return back to you. All the curses that you took money for. And then you recruited people as your apostles and showed them your powers, but really the power source of your power came from doing enchantment spells in the cemetery overnight. Urela's Vindicator. An angel. Oh, an angel. When Urela's Vindicator is turned face up, exile the target from the graveyard. Oh my God, God's pissed at you. God is pissed at this person. He had to send down angels just to counteract some of the spells that she was, that this Dark High Priestess was doing in the cemetery. Oh my God. This angel is like, fuck you, man. Wow. What else? Yeah, this person will take money to put a spell on anything. Put a spell on your land. Put a spell on the city. Put a spell on pyrotechnic performer. On performers. On people. This person gets paid. They're a freaking assassin. A spiritual assassin. I can't make it up. I can't make it up. Whenever a pyrotechnic performer or another creature you control is turned face up, let's get this party started. Yeah, this person loves doing this shit. They look at this party. Doesn't it look occulty to you? They got masks on. That's, oh my God, I can see it now. This person, wow, that's really something else. Okay, so what this person does is they take 3 or more people to a cemetery, or sometimes they go by themselves. You know, just whatever fits their schedule. And they'll go to the graveyard, the cemetery, at night, usually like full moons, and they'll spend the night in the cemetery doing God knows what, doing whatever incantations and enchantments they can do, because they think that there's some kind of angel that God wants them to use their powers this way. There's some disconnect. I don't know what it is, but they love this shit. So what they do at the cemetery is they absorb some kind of power somehow, so they're able to look like they can perform healing, like they can read minds, like they can, because they are psychic, and it gets amplified. Look how she's glowing. And then they take their powers to like some kind of friend party or get together or something, and they show off their powers. Oh, look at me. Yes, I love it. Give me all the attention. Yes. Maybe they read cards there. Maybe, I don't know. But they put spells on everything. They put it on the city. They get paid to do it. They put it on people's land, houses, court cases, you name it. Police officers, detectives, whatever you want, whatever you need. If you need a spell put on someone, this Dark High Priestess is willing to take money to do it. And she thinks that that's God's work. God would never have you do that. God would never, ever have you curse somebody, especially for money. This is what it says. This is what God wants you to do. You want me to tell you? Let me tell you. Hold on a second. Hold, please. Because I just read it. This is what God wants you to do. You ready for this? Yeah, you're going to shit your pants. This is what God wants you to do. Love your enemies. But to you who hear, I say, love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who mistreat you. To the person who strikes you on one cheek, offer the other one as well. And from the person who takes your cloak, do not withhold your tunic. Give to everyone who asks of you, and from one who takes what is yours, do not demand it back. Do to others as you would have them do to you. For if you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners love those who love them. And if you do good to those who do good to you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners do the same. If you had lent money to those from whom you expect repayment, what credit is that to you? Even sinners lend to sinners and get back the same amount. But rather love your enemies and do good to them and lend expecting nothing back. Then your reward will be great, and you will be children of the Most High, for he himself is kind to the ungrateful and the wicked. Be merciful, just as your Father is merciful. This person is going around taking money to curse people from people who want to curse people. And then they're gathering people to gain some kind of power at night in the cemetery so she can show off her powers at some secret society parties. She's a hellhound. She's a hellhound. She works for the devil and she doesn't even know it. She doesn't even know it. She thinks, she's like, what's going on? This is my purpose. This is my destiny. I'm God's worker. God wouldn't have you curse people. Don't you get it? That's you. You're unhealed. Only unhealed people would think it's okay to curse people. It's wrong. Let's see, what else? Oh, okay. Describe your favorite food. Explain why the cow jumped over the moon. I told you she's doing things under the moonlight in the cemetery. What brings you endless happiness? I told you she loves this shit. And describe your favorite food. She's probably putting, I don't know, what do witches do? What do witches put in food to curse people? A little period blood, a little bit of spiders, a little bit of, I don't know. I don't do witchcraft. You're basically using your powers to do witchcraft is what you're doing. I'm sorry, I'm not judging you, but I kind of am, because how could you ever think that this was God? This person's confused. Give a eulogy for a person you did not like. Yeah, in the beginning, God gave this psychic another psychic who was a little more advanced than them to be their teacher, to teach them how to anchor their gift, to teach them how to use it. And once this person got a little taste of power by whatever the hell they were doing, they thought they surpassed the teacher. But it said in the Bible, you never surpass your teacher, you just become equal to them. But this person judged their teacher, and once they decided they surpassed them, they didn't like them anymore. It's like they discarded them and didn't need them. Could have possibly cursed them so they wouldn't gain any momentum on them, is what I'm getting. What is the most Googled search by your grandparents? This person's just Googling things on the internet. This is a Google witch, the kitchen Google witch, thinking that it's making it, I don't know if she believes that she's doing God's work or she's just delusional telling herself that because she's been doing so much graveyard magic. Sure, it could have been possible that her parents or grandparents were psychics as well. Explain to your dad what's wrong with your car. Yeah, because when you do, oh my God. Oh shit. Give a eulogy for a person you did not like. I think she tried to unalive her teacher, who's an angel, because God sent them another psychic. She tried to kill her teacher with magic so her teacher wouldn't surpass her. Wow. She could have possibly also did magic. She does magic for everything. Anything, if someone's got a problem, Yo, what's up? Check out the hook with my DJ Revolve It. She's just like a freaking, she's a witch for hire that curses people. She'll curse your car. She'll curse your love life. She'll curse anything that you need. You have someone you don't like, call this person. She'll curse them for you. And she'll take your money. She'll unalive people even through magic. Because she thinks that she's some like powerful god or something. Explain TikTok to someone who's never used it. Yeah, this person wants all the accolades but doesn't want to do the work. They want to be this godly psychic with a platform, and they want to do all these things, but they're lazy as hell. They take shortcuts and they lie and they take money. Hello, and they take money to curse people. Describe why you got banned from a restaurant. She could possibly act belligerent in public. You know, she can't even socially act right. And she thinks that she's doing God's work, or she's telling people she is. And she's loving it. I can't believe how much I feel that she is really good at it. But she's not using it for the right reasons. The monster is under your bed. How do you handle it? She is the monster. She is the monster under your bed. You know? She's the one who's putting period blood in your food, and she's putting curses on your car, and she's doing this all under the moon, and she could possibly just be Googling these things. She's just Googling instead of talking to God. God's like, I talk to you, you don't even listen to me. Why do you keep calling upon me? You're not going to do what I say. You keep on doing your own thing. It's like it wasn't good enough for her. 444 on the clock. It's experimental. Yeah, it must have been, because this person got a taste of power at this party. She got a lot of attention when she was really glowing up, doing those cemetery rituals, stealing power from somewhere. I don't know where. Not from dead people. I don't know why she had to do it in a cemetery. I don't know. I don't do things like that. The way I talk to God is I go into a quiet space and I clear my field and I pray and I read prayers. And that's how God talks to me. When you talk to God, you don't got to do all this stuff. What did you say when your neighbor asked for their tools back that you've had for years? She probably sent them a curse to lose their house or something, you know? Because she's drunk with power, honestly. She's drunk with power. Well, because the power that she's receiving, in the Bible it said whatever you use your powers for in whatever capacity, is going to come back to you in the end. That's what it said. It's going to come back to you. So if she's doing all these curses on people, you better believe that God's letting you know right now, 100%, you are going to receive everything that you cursed. It will be on your curse now. I'm like, ding. You know what? Let's do an imagine if. Let's get a number. Okay, someone pick a number 1 through 5. Pick a number 1 through 5. Anybody? Give me a number 1 through 5. Come on. 1 through 5. 1 through 5. 1 through 5. Give me a number. Staying alive. Staying alive. Huh? If you guys don't pick one, I'm just going to pick one. Okay. I'm just going to pick one. 2. 2. Let's do an imagine if. Oh, I got a 1. So does that mean a 3? Okay. Imagine if you were something to look through. Which would you be? 3, reading glasses. This person could possibly wear glasses. This person could possibly wear glasses, needed to read. They could be older. Maybe this is an older person that needs glasses to read. Or it could be metaphorical, like they're so transparently see-through because of what they do. They're just completely, there's nothing. No, I think they have reading glasses. Imagine if you were something to look through. Oh, to look through. Reading glasses. This person could possibly use divination. Maybe she looks in a crystal ball or something to spy on people. Oh my gosh. That is a big no-no. You do not spy on people through divination. That is a hells to the no. It's a big old hells to the no, because you can't invade people's privacy like that against their will. You can't spy on people with divination. She's probably using I want to say a crystal ball, but I can't prove it, but I want to say crystal ball. It says looking through something. She could be scrying. You know, sometimes I look through this. I just like kind of stare at it and I get stuff, so I don't know. I'm gonna do 5. Imagine if you had a garden. What would be its predominant feature? Native trees. This person could be native. They could be Native American or of Latin descent or something like that. So glasses, or they could have dark skin at least. They could have dark skin at least and wear glasses and be native. Native could be Latina, you know, it could be anything that has a culture, you know, has deep-rooted culture. All right, let's do another one. Does anyone want to pick a number 1 through 5? Ha, 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 stand like a black 2. How appropriate. All right, let's see. Imagine if you made $1 million. How would you how would you most likely have it made? Winning the, brilliant invention. Brilliant invention. What was their invention to make money? The curses. Oh my God, they thought the curses were a brilliant way to make money because they didn't understand energy, you guys. This person is a Google kitchen witch that knew they had psychic powers and swore up and down, made excuses that God wanted them to do curses on people. What they did was they justified their actions because of their ego. They made it okay to do what they were doing, and eventually they believed it. Hyperbole. Hyperbole. Purposeful exaggeration for effect. I can't make it up. When the mayor claimed his town was one of the 7 wonders of the world, outsiders classified his statement as hyperbole. Embellishment, inflation, magnification. This person magnified their excuses to curse people to make money. They thought it was the best idea in the world. But unfortunately, that was an embellishment, an inflation, a magnification of a lie to justify what they were doing for money and for attention. Dilettante. Dilettante. Someone with an amateurish, superficial interest in a topic. Jerry's friend was such a dilettante. They seemed to have new jobs and hobbies every week. Amateur, dabbler, superficial. This person who had a psychic gift met another psychic who was a little more advanced than them to teach them how to anchor themselves. And once they thought they knew enough, shit on their friend or whoever, their teacher, thought they were better than them. Well, really, they were an amateur. They thought they found some kind of shortcut that they thought made them better than their teacher, and they thought they surpassed their teacher. But the Bible says you don't, when you get a teacher, you don't surpass them, you become equal to them. Iconoclast. One who opposes established beliefs, customs, and institutions. I cannot make it up, you guys. This person opposed the beliefs of their teacher because they thought they had a surefire way to surpass their teacher and bypass the whole regard of the Holy Trinity. A maverick, a nonconformist, a rebel. His lack of regard for traditional beliefs soon established him as an iconoclast. This person's ego got too inflated by whatever the hell they were doing in the cemetery. They were absolutely have power, absolutely 100% psychic gift, using it for bad. What a waste. I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed. You were so close. You had a teacher. God sent you someone. You had somebody to help you, and you're so lazy. This person's lazy. I can taste alcohol. You know that taste after someone drinks all night, that sickly smell of the alcohol in their stomach. I can taste that and smell that. This person's an alcoholic. This person drinks, parties. They're not healed. They thought they didn't have to be healed. I don't understand. Please help me understand this person's thinking. Sagacious, shrewd, wise. Owls have a reputation for being sagacious, perhaps because of their big eyes which resemble glasses. This person wears glasses. Sage, wise, yes. Spirit says they were so close. They were so close. Ooh. It's just so sad, what a waste. I don't know how many people this person cursed, but whatever curses they sent out, they're going to get back. Because fecund, fertile, fruitful, productive, flourishing, prolific. The fecund couple yielded a total of 20 children. They could have possibly recruited or involved a couple and maybe up to 20 people, including children, in whatever they were doing. They could have possibly affected them by the curses they were doing. They could have possibly ruined 20 people's lives, maybe even children, because they didn't understand the implications of cursing people. Just ruining people's lives for money, and you thought that was God's work. No, I think they knew damn well it wasn't God's work, but because of their ego and because they wanted the attention so badly, because they viewed their teacher as someone who gets attention for their gift, who's putting in the work and who's doing all the things. They got jealous. They wanted to surpass the teacher. They wanted to be better than the teacher. They didn't want to take the teacher as someone that could actually help them anymore because they found some magical shortcut, alleviate, to make more bearable. Taking aspirins help to alleviate a headache. You know why this person probably has headaches and they're taking drugs and stuff to relieve it? Because of all the magic they do. They will absolutely come back and affect your body in a negative way doing all that magic, especially all this cursing. Redress. Relief from wrong or injury. Seeking redress for the injury she had received in the accident. Doreen sued the driver of the truck that had hit her. This person could have possibly used her magic to have people in car accidents, hit by cars, unalived. This person they sent out a lot of evil. Yeah, they really did. And they were happy to do it. Look how happy she is. She's like, oh, look at me at the party. Oh, everybody look at me. Look what I can do. Give me attention. This person's a chaser of attention because they have unhealed wounds. And they thought that they were more powerful than their teacher, and they shit on their teacher. And on God. Malediction. God gave her this gift to help people and sent her a teacher to help her how to use it. A curse. A wish of evil upon another. Malediction. I cannot make it up. The frog prince looked for a princess to kiss him and put an end to the witch's malediction. A frog prince looked for a princess to kiss him. So she might have, she even curses people's relationships. She'll curse someone's relationship, not even get paid for it, but just if the person is like in love or something. She doesn't want to see people in love. She'll curse their relationship. That's awful. Why would you do that? 555 on the clock. Why would you do that? Why would you think that that's okay? You know why? Because they're doing hibbity-hobbity in the cemetery under the moonlight. I said that in the beginning, and look, I have it right here. Explain why the cow jumped over the moon. She could possibly be overweight, wears glasses, with dark skin. Cursing people's relationships, families, engender, to produce or cause or to bring about hatred and fear. His fear and hatred of clowns was engendered when he witnessed a bank robbery carried out by 5 men wearing clown suits and makeup. Yeah, this person spawned and produced and brought about hatred, fear. She could have possibly robbed somebody. How can we heal it? How can we heal this? Clearly she needs to heal. How can we heal this? 3-3. Spirit, please. You want to do a book? Okay. Sure. Spirit, do a book. You are becoming a galactic human. Spirit, thank you so much for telling us a higher perspective. What do you want us to know? They leave with spiritual essence of that being and accompany the spiritual and body guardians. Body guardians are celestial divas in charge of constructing the human body during pregnancy of that life force into the light, where they may be reprocessed by special systems of celestial judges who prepare the soul force energy for the next incarnation. That is the basic underpinning of all Earth's human life in its present stage of development. They leave with the spiritual essence of that being accompanying the spiritual and body guardians of that life force into the light, where they may be reprocessed by special... Oh my God. The basis of the human species is in the initial cells, for they are the first cells of life. They are retained by the body as a blueprint for the human that is contained within. This basic core cannot be changed without permission from the higher self and those angelic forces that are guardian energies of this human life form. Therefore, without these higher permissions, no miraculous change can occur in the body. These permissions are not given unless conditions within the will of each individual and the higher collective will of all humans are met and approved by the hierarchical spiritual essences who are the guardians for this life. This person's stealing people's energy and not even telling them and lying, and that's how she's getting her power. That is so fucked up. This says right here, therefore, without permission, no miraculous change can occur in the body. So it's like she thought that by doing the... First of all, she's doing it against people's will, so she must be lying when she does these rituals and she gathers these people, or maybe to curse... Oh, shit. With the people that come to her, she's telling people, yeah, if I'll charge you just a little bit of money, or people will... Hold on, I'm making something. Hold on. So what happens is, this is what happens. She discovered by Googling how to do it, she discovered a way to transfer energy to herself to make her more powerful. But she did it against people's wills without permission. She lied to people. And then, once she got power hungry, drunk off of power, she recruited people to do curses for her. And she was a salesman of her curses, because every time she did a curse, she would get power from it to show off at the party. And money. As Oracle number 36 of the High Divine Order, I call judgment upon this Dark High Priestess who abandoned God and used her God-given psychic abilities for her own personal gain and scoffed at anyone who was sent to her by God to teach her how to use it. Love you guys. See you next one.